Have you ever heard of kaijus? You know, those gigantic creatures from sci-fi movies and stories? Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah? They're pop culture icons, right? But what if I told you that these creatures might not be entirely fictional? Take a deep breath, because what I'm about to share might make even the biggest skeptics question everything. There are rumors that Japan, one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, could be hiding a dark secret. Something that doesn't appear in tourist guides, anime films, or documentaries about Mount Fuji. Many people believe that somewhere in the depths of the Pacific, the Japanese government knows about and possibly controls a real-life sea monster. And here's the kicker: this monster might actually be used as a secret weapon. Yes, you heard that right. A living weapon. A colossal creature capable of unimaginable destruction. And if you think this sounds far-fetched, just wait until you hear the details. Because once you start connecting the dots, things get downright eerie. Let's start with geography. Did you know that Japan is surrounded by some of the most mysterious waters on the planet? The Mariana Trench, for instance, plunges to an astonishing depth of nearly 36,000 feet and is located nearby. Now think about this. Over 80% of the world's oceans remain unexplored. And in those dark depths, where sunlight never reaches, who's to say there isn't something massive waiting to be discovered? Ever heard of the Pacific anomalous sonar? It's a term used for a strange, unexplainable sound picked up by ocean monitoring equipment. The sound is so powerful that it could only have been produced by something enormous. But guess what? To this day, no one has been able to identify its source. Coincidence? Maybe. But let's keep going. In recent years, fishermen have reported more and more encounters with unknown creatures. You know those viral videos of enormous shadows moving beneath boats? Yeah, those. Accounts describe massive tentacles, glowing eyes in the deep, and even roars echoing across the water. And where do these incidents frequently occur? Around Japan's waters. Here's a chilling case. In 2017, a fishing vessel mysteriously disappeared in the Sea of Japan. When the ship was found drifting days later, there was no sign of the crew. But the ship's hull was covered in strange, deep gashes, marks that looked like they were made by massive claws. And of course, the entire crew had vanished without a trace. Now let's dive into the darker side of this story. In 2020, a supposed former Japanese scientist leaked an anonymous report on the dark web. The report claimed that since the 1950s, Japan has been pouring billions of dollars into technology to monitor and contain what the scientist referred to as gigantic biological entities. In other words, real-life kaijus. The report also mentioned a secret underwater base near the Ogasawara Islands. This base, allegedly equipped with advanced technology, is said to monitor giant creatures lurking in the ocean depths. And here's the most unsettling part. The scientist claimed that these kaijus aren't natural, as we understand nature. Now let's connect some dots. Did you know that Japan has a unique history with radiation? After the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the country has dealt with the lingering effects of radioactivity for decades. Some scientists speculate that this radiation didn't just impact humans, but also drastically affected marine ecosystems. So here's the theory. What if radiation acted as a catalyst, triggering extreme mutations in marine life? What if it created creatures that evolved in ways we can't even comprehend? It doesn't stop there. Over the decades, nuclear tests in oceans near Japan could have accelerated this process. What started as speculation is now becoming a theory that many are starting to take seriously. Now imagine this. If you had access to a colossal, virtually unstoppable creature, what would you do? Japan is a technological powerhouse. They've built robots that dance and trains that float on magnetic tracks. So is it really far-fetched to think they might be working on something as ambitious as controlling a kaiju? And here's the most intriguing part. No one would suspect a thing. Imagine a devastating tsunami hitting a coastal city. Who would ever think to blame a giant creature? It would just be dismissed as a natural disaster. Simple, effective, and terrifying. But what if the truth is even darker? What if the Japanese government isn't trying to use the kaijus as weapons, but is instead desperately trying to contain something far worse? Think about it. These creatures might not be accidents. What if they're an ancient species that's always been there, lurking in the depths, waiting for the right moment to resurface? Japanese folklore is full of stories about giant monsters emerging from the sea to punish humanity. What if these legends are more than just myths? Maybe the government is racing against time to keep these creatures from causing global chaos. Let me ask you this. Why do you think Japan has always been the epicenter of elaborate stories about giant monsters? Is it purely cultural, or is there something more to it? Here's what we do know. Humanity has barely scratched the surface when it comes to understanding our oceans. And with climate change and melting ice caps, sea levels are rising, revealing areas that were previously inaccessible. Who's to say we won't stumble upon something that was meant to stay hidden? So now the question is, are we ready to face something as colossal as a kaiju? Or could it be that we're already dealing with them, but the truth is being kept from us? I want to hear from you. Do you think kaijus are just a myth, or is there something deeper happening in the waters surrounding Japan? Could these creatures really be lying in wait, ready to surface at any moment? Drop your theories in the comments. I'm dying to hear what you think. And hey, before you go, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second and helps us out a ton. Plus, there's another video popping up on the screen right now. It's packed with mysteries and theories you won't want to miss. See you in the next one. Or maybe not.